Hello, darlings. I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Rissy and I review things. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a year's worth of Empties. That's right, an entire year. My trash bucket overfloweth and it's all for you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Rissy, a molecular biologist and a fiend for skincare. I have pretty dry skin that gets a little combination-y in the T-zone, especially in the summertime, but otherwise is just Sahara dry, and I live in a very cold, very dry climate in northern Alberta. The harsh climate really lends itself to testing things like moisturizers. If they can moisturize my skin, they can moisturize anybody's skin. I kept meaning to get to an Empties video at some point, but it just never freaking happened. 2021 was a weird year, y'all. But on the plus side, I've had the chance to track these purchases and see what is it that I really do love? What are the products that I keep coming back to over and over and over again? And what are the ones that I'm just kind of like, could take or leave it. We're gonna start by talking about skincare for the body, skincare for the face, makeup, hair care, and supplements, since that's become a surprisingly big part of my life, but more on that later. We've got a metric ass ton of products to get to. Seriously, I feel like I could roll around in this stuff like Scrooge McDuck. So let's dive in. For body care, let's start with a couple of things that have not changed since last year. The Dove Dry Spray Deodorant. I use the 48-hour protection in Sheer Cool. This has never let me down. I absolutely love it. I've got so many of these just floating around. I have very, nasty, acrid underarm sweat. I have to keep that shit on lockdown. Otherwise, it will, seep into all of my clothes. It's truly horrible. This stuff keeps the funk away, also washes off easily. It's not heavy. It doesn't feel gross. It does not irritate my skin. So unless I get word of some kind of revolutionary product that just blows all other antiperspirants out of the water, I'm probably gonna stick with this forever. Another product I cannot get enough of, the Aveeno Skin Relief Shave Gel. I love Aveeno products. A lot of them are unfragranced, but still smell good because they have that colloidal oatmeal in them, which is good for the skin, but also smells delightful. This is a shaving gel. I would say it is life-changingly good. It purports to help prevent razor bumps, and I agree completely. It actually does the thing that it advertises itself as doing. It's ludicrously cheap. It's less than 10 Canadian dollars. It does provide a nice sensory experience, but without any added fragrance. It's very smoothing, very healing, very soothing on the skin. Just fucking A+. Love this shit. In addition to living in a very cold, dry place, I also have some pretty serious mental health issues that are ongoing. They're not situational because my brain don't work right. This is all a lead up to say hot showers are an essential for me. It's one of the only ways, if I'm in a really bad place, that I can motivate myself to get out of bed just with that promise of a hot shower. And while you're in there, it's I feel like I could do anything. But hot showers are really not good for your skin, and I don't just take a little hot. I'm in there for a solid 15 minutes of lobstering. All that hot water is just stripping away all of the moisture from my skin in the winter when I need it the most. So how do we combat that? Well, for starters, you gotta use a really gentle cleanser, and I've found some good ones and a holy grail. If you've seen any of my Empties videos before, you've seen this. This is the Live Clean Mango and Aloe Butter Body Wash. This is really nice. And who knows, I might switch back to this in the summertime. It's very light. I love a pump. It produces a lot of wonderful foam, is excellent at getting all the stanky parts of me clean without stripping my skin. This is great. But I decided to branch out and try some other products, and I came across this. Yes, it's more Aveeno. This is a body wash that is meant to be gentle enough for people who are undergoing chemotherapy and radiation treatments. That is specifically mentioned in the marketing copy. So I'm like, well, this has gotta be nice and gentle. And it was nice and gentle on my skin. But then, as part of testing facial cleansers, I encountered this stuff, the Aveeno Calm and Restore Nourishing Oat Cleanser. And while this is intended to be a cleanser for the face, I liked it so much, I just started using it all over my body. And I went through a bunch of it before I was like, it's actually very affordable, but you don't get much because it is intended to be a face cleanser, not a body cleanser. So I was like, I'm spending too much money on this. Maybe I can find something else. We briefly have to diverge from this timeline to discuss shower oil. This is the Aveeno Skin Relief Shower and Bath Oil. This stuff is absolutely amazing, and it's a very traditional shower oil. You slather it on and then rinse it off and it leaves your skin nicely moisturized again. It's got that oaty goodness. And mineral oil, which is incredible for moisturizing the skin and is not evil. Despite what you may have heard, mineral oil is perfectly safe for your skin. The problem was this was clogging my shower real bad. Just would get into the drain, and then it's the sort of thing where you're standing there and the water level's getting higher and higher and higher, and you're like, am I taking a bath and a shower at the same time? Fuck. So this had to go. I'm so sorry, Aveeno. I genuinely love this stuff, even though I've had to banish it from my shower. So if you have more modern pipes than I do, this might not be a problem, but it unfortunately was for me, and so I've had to say farewell. Good night, sweet prince. If flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. I need a shower oil though, because I'm blasting all the moisture off of my body, even with the help of a non-stripping cleanser. What's a girl to do? I can buy this Calia Grapeseed Oil, which is a locally made product, I believe. And this was perfectly nice. The problem is it's kind of hard to like manipulate in the shower. It's got a dropper, and so it was hard to get a lot out, so I took that part out. But then when you open it, you risk pouring all of it out in one go. It was very messy. I did go through 3 or 4 of these. They're not that expensive, and they were pretty good for keeping my skin moisturized, but it was just too messy. This was Aromalife Grapeseed Oil. I think I got this one off of Amazon, and it was perfectly fine. It says Aromalife, but this did not have any added fragrance into it. It's just 100% pure grapeseed oil. But then, what if I told you you could have a shower oil and a cleanser in the same product? We're into the Matrix, my friends, because this is everything I ever could have wanted in both a shower oil and a body cleanser. This is the Uriage Xemose Cleansing Soothing Oil. It's a fragrance-free foaming oil cleanser. I'm just perpetually boggled at how absolutely wonderful it is. This stuff is powerful enough to get rid of my armpit stench, but so gentle that it functions basically like a shower oil. I can just rub it all over myself, and even though you're not necessarily supposed to do that with soapy cleansers, this, instead of stripping my skin, replenishes it. It's so good, and it's not that expensive, and you get, this is a solid horsecock's worth of product here. This is an entire half a liter. Cannot recommend this enough. It has given me dolphin smooth skin in combination with the Uriage Xemose Anti-Itch Soothing Oil Balm. If you've seen previous Empties videos, you know I love this in the wintertime. It's thick, it's oily, it's gross, it does not smell the greatest, but it really gets the job done on my skin. As soon as I get out of the shower, I just slather myself down with it, give it plenty of time to absorb, because it does take a while. The combination of these two working together has greatly improved the texture of the skin on my body and just overall levels of moisture. Total win, Uriage, well done. In warmer weather, I've been using the LaRoche-Posay Lipikar AP Balm in place of the Uriage as a moisturizer. It's very effective, but it's not effective enough for Northern Albertan winter. If you find the Uriage to be too heavy, give this a try. Again, there's no fragrance, it's very gentle, but it's very effective as a moisturizer. If for some reason you have just really dry, itchy patches of skin that will not go away, but you don't want to use a steroid cream because they can really mess you up, check out the Aveeno Restorative Skin Therapy Itch Relief Balm. This is absolutely amazing. It's a metal tube, so that's how you know it's serious medicine. I've just sucked it dry because it's that good. It's got oat, aloe, panthenol, and most importantly, pramoxine, which is a drug, an actual drug that is meant for itch relief. It's a topical analgesic that is not a steroid, but man, does it really dial down itchiness. I have certain places where I just get so freaking itchy. My lower legs especially get so ashy and itchy in the wintertime, and sometimes my cheeks, they just itch and burn. It gets so dry. It does not smell the greatest. The oat is not quite enough to overcome the medicine-y smell, but because it is a medicine-y product, I don't have a problem with that. This is the final missing piece in my winter skincare routine that just keeps the skin on my body smooth, shiny, plump, moisturized, and not itching myself to death. Just, love. Last and sadly least, I had to stop using these Oxy Deep Pore cleansing pads. They've got 2% salicylic acid, and I would use them under my arms and under my boobs to help prevent acne and ingrown hairs. And unfortunately, I developed some eczema in my armpit area, and it was awful. When you have eczema, you immediately stop using any kind of acid-containing products with actives in general and just go ham on the moisturization. And so, alas, I have had to stop using these because it came back once, and I'm just like, okay, fine, fuck it, no more actives in my underarms. That's all right. I have the Aveeno shaving cream that is pretty darn good at preventing ingrowns. When my underarms get dry sometimes, I use this and it sets them to rights, even though it's kind of weird having this greasy cream under your arms, but it does absorb. So we have a happy ending, even though I've had to ditch this from my routine. Moving on to skincare for the face, got several of these running around. This is the Ordinary's Squalane Cleanser, and if you watched my mega review on first cleansers, you'd know this is wonderful. It's very gentle, but very effective. The only thing I don't like about it is that it stings my eyes, but I liked it so much that I kept it in my routine for a facial cleanser when I've been out exercise first thing in the morning. Haven't been doing that so much this winter, but in the summertime, I went through a lot of this because I'll, slap on some sunscreen, go out and do my thing, then come back and shower. Part of that involves taking the sweaty gunk off of my face. This is quite effective at taking care of sunscreen and sweat. And as long as I don't jam it directly into my eyes, I'm fine. It's cheap, it's effective, and it's moisturizing. Still love it. I have one that I'm about to finish up and I will repurchase. Another product that I have fucking 30 of these things floating around is the Avene Eau Thermale Thermal Water Spray. God, I love this so much. As part of my daily skincare routine, I layer on humectants from thinnest to thickest, and in between each layer, I mist this. Humectants are a class of moisturizer that operate by attracting and holding water molecules in your skin. Well, there's not much water in the air where I live, so I found that giving those humectants something to hold on to works really, really well. There is some evidence that thermal water spray is genuinely good for your skin. It's soothing and healing. This is recommended by the Canadian Dermatology Association for people with eczema, I believe. So I'm helping my skin hold moisture and helping calm it down at the same time. I go through at least one of these a month, and when I travel, I like it so much that I literally buy the mini version and pack it in my carry-on. Yeah, that's how much I love this stuff and will not be parted from it. Continuing to repurchase ad infinitum. A very sad development in early 2021, I believe, was the discontinuation of the best lip sleeping mask that has ever existed, the Madecassoside lip sleeping mask. God, this was so good. It was so good. I love it. I scoured the internet for months, hoping that somebody would be selling it on eBay or something like that. I dream about this product. It was so good. So it was a lip mask that had a base of petroleum jelly, but it had ceramides in it, in addition to having Centella asiatica derivatives like Madecassoside that accelerate healing. Not only do my lips get super dry, they get really chapped, and this just, in addition to holding moisture in there, was so healing and soothing and conditioning. This would help naturally exfoliate my lips overnight. If you use a lip mask and you wake up with a filmy white goo on your lips, that's not a bad thing. That means the skin of your lips has exfoliated itself overnight. You can just wipe it off and your lips are going to be so soft and smooth afterwards. That's a good thing. I hear people complain about it. I'm like, no, you don't understand. That's actually really good. You don't need to use a harsh lip scrub if you've got a moisturizer that encourages your skin to turn over on its own. This did everything and so much more. This is one of those, if I ever get my own skincare brand, I will recreate this for y'all because it's so sad that it has left the world cut down in its prime. Farewell, immortal beloved. Shall miss you. Guess I'm testing lip masks again. I didn't want to be, but here we are. Has anything compared to that thus far? No. But we'll get to that in, another 6 months. For some more positive stuff, the Klairs Daily Skin Hydrating Water is still a staple of my routine. In the morning, if I haven't been out exercising, I put some of this on a reusable cotton pad and use that to wipe my skin down in place of using a cleanser, and it works really well for just kind of getting the gunk out of my eyes without irritating them and just providing a very light bit of manual exfoliation for my skin. It's very, very soothing and just ever so slightly hydrating, which is wonderful. Skincare always absorbs better when your skin is wet, so this is excellent at preparing your skin for leave-on moisturizers, serums, all that. I also use it at night after I cleanse. I basically triple cleanse. First cleanser, second cleanser, and then I use this to wipe down my skin to make sure I've gotten every last trace of soap off of myself. You don't want that stuff sitting on your skin because it'll burrow through your moisture barrier and fuck your shit up. You get a ton and it lasts a good long while. Absolutely love this stuff. We'll just keep on using it. As always, my faithful tube of snail mucin, the CosRx Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence. I love this stuff. It lasts me a long while. I think I only have 3 bottles of this in a year's worth of empties. That's how long it lasts. As like the midway step in my skincare routine, I mix 4 pumps of this, 1 half dropper full of this. This is the iUnique Beta Glucan Power Moisture Serum. Beta glucan is an incredibly powerful humectant that is also really good at healing skin. So I mix these 2 things, and then I add 4 drops of this, the Tusawong Tamanu oil, which again, incredible at healing, soothing, even burned skin. This can heal burns on your eyeballs in addition to other burns. And then mix it with several drops of the Ordinary's Rosehip Seed Oil. This combination works wonders for my skin. It always feels wonderful going on. It's incredibly soothing and healing. I will use any leftovers if you ever get little boob zits, which I totally do. This is incredible at helping heal those. This is so great at just helping my skin resist the damage from the cold and healing any damage I might have, since I do have residual acne, but more on that later. But in the meantime, we'll keep purchasing all 4 of these things forever and ever and ever until maybe I get my own skincare brand and I can have one serum with all of them in that. A girl can dream. Continuing with the Ordinary, we have the EUK 134.1%. One of the only antioxidant serums on the market that I would actually give a shit about. Most antioxidants are not particularly worth your while because they oxidize so easily, and they're not really giving your skin much in the way of protection. Now, they're great mixed in with other products because they can help keep them from going rancid faster. This is one of the only products that I actually trust to work the way antioxidants are advertised, to help prevent or repair damage on your skin from the sun, from pollution, from all the nasty little things that are floating around in the atmosphere fucking your shit up. I'm gonna do a video on antioxidants at some point, as has been requested by some viewers, and I'll talk a lot more about that, but in the meantime, this is cheap, and I do actually find it to be effective. The more I use this, the more my hyperpigmentation fades, and the better my skin heals. In it for the long haul. Sheet masks. If you've watched my mega review on hydrating sheet masks, you know that these, the Dr. Morita Hyaluronic Essence Mask, won by a landslide. These are so good at plumping up my skin. So anytime I'm doing a video, or if I just want to look just juiced up and dewy, I turn to this. I'm not quite done with the big box of it that I had, but when I am, I will absolutely repurchase. Cannot recommend enough. Moving on to products that are occlusive moisturizers, so meant to seal in all that skincare goodness and prevent transepidermal water loss. I have the Vaseline Problem Skin Therapy. This is the second to last step in my skincare routine in the mornings. This is a very light occlusive. Yeah, it's Vaseline and it has petroleum jelly in it, but it's incredibly light. And what I do is, after layering all those humectant moisturizers and misting water to help give them something to hold on to, I seal it all in with this goodness. And I just put a light layer on my skin, let it sink in for a minute, and then go in with sunscreen. It works incredibly well. This is not heavy or greasy or gross, but it adds that extra layer of protection and keeps the moisture in my skin where I want it. It's like $5, cannot recommend enough. Along the same lines, I've got the Vaseline Original Healing Jelly. I have a bunch of these roaming around. It's just so good at protecting your skin. Petroleum jelly, despite what you might have heard, is not bad for your skin. It's not going to give you skin cancer. It's not full of benzenes or anything along those lines. I'll probably do a video on that in the future, but yeah, this stuff is so great, whether it's for lips or using it as a sleeping mask at the end of my nighttime routine. I love to just slather it on. I am a slugger, if you are part of the slugging community. It just works so well at protecting my skin from the ravages of a Canadian winter. And it's like $2.50 a tube. I also have the CeraVe Healing Ointment in itty bitty baby form. I use this while traveling and used up the whole thing. I use it as a lip mask and a sleeping mask at night, or just anytime I have a place that is dry and scabby and needs moisture. So I'm working on polishing off a whole big tube of it, but for traveling, I always bring this tiny little guy because it's just the perfect amount and is just so good at keeping my skin in great shape, even on an airplane. In travel sizes, I polished off 2 of these guys. This is just the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. You may have seen it in the tub with a pump, and while I am testing testing ceramide creams right now, so I don't use this every night. I always bring this with me when I travel because I know I can rely on it, and it comes in this very convenient mini size. It's absolutely fantastic. I will forever sing its praises. It's a heavy-duty moisturizer, but it has a satin matte, almost completely matte finish. For those reasons, I just keep coming back to this over and over again. How will it rank in the mega review? Well, you'll just have to wait to find out. And finally, in skincare for the face, I finished off the Chant a Charm Deep Moist Lip Treatment. This is a lip treatment from Japan. It's got a very short ingredients list, as it says on here. Formulated with herbs, amino acids, and spa water. It's got cocoa butter in it and hyaluronic acid as well, and it's so good at plumping my lips before I put on lipstick. It just kind of fills in all the lines, and there's nothing in here that's irritating. I don't get why people are willing to use those plumping glosses that inflict pain and damage on your lips that over time will probably erode the collagen and make your lips go flat and thin much faster. You can plump up your lips much more effectively by having wasps sting them. No, by using something with hyaluronic acid in it. When I finished this off, I absolutely did repurchase. It's kind of expensive. I don't care. It takes me a long time to go through it though, and it's just so perfect to put on before I do any kind of lipstick. I'm even wearing a liquid lipstick today. Oh, scandalous. Absolutely love. Will definitely keep repurchasing. On to makeup. I don't generally have a lot of makeup products in these Empties videos because I'm currently working on a thing of foundation that maybe in the next 6 months will run out. I'm currently testing blushes. That review is coming very soon, and otherwise it's really difficult to go all the way through makeup products to where you're actually friggin' done with them. I'm testing blushes. I'm also testing mascaras. That one's gonna take a bit longer. There's just not that many opportunities for me to talk about the makeup products that I used up, but this is a year's worth of Empties, so what did I go through? Well, MAC Fix Plus. I absolutely love this stuff. I use the same technique to applying makeup that I do to my skincare on my face. That is to say, I like to mist on layers of moisture in between layers of my base makeup. The only nitpick I have with this stuff is that it is fragranced, but I like the fragrance. It's very cucumbery, which also probably means the fragrance is made from cucumber essence and is unlikely to have any seriously irritating particles in it. I think this is absolutely great for helping me apply foundation in a way that looks more like skin, more natural, and more glowy. I don't really use it for setting my foundation exactly, but that's because my skin is so friggin' dry, I don't really need any help getting my foundation to set down. My skin just sucks it up. I absolutely did repurchase this and will repurchase this when the newer bottle runs out. I managed to use an entire fucking contour stick. This is the Fenty Beauty Match Sticks in Amber, and if you, like me, have light olive skin that is neutral to cool leaning, this is an incredible shade for contouring. I always do it underneath my foundation in a technique that's called underpainting. Of course I repurchased it. This is one of the only stick products that I use. I have a terrible time with stick products, and usually they're very drying on my skin. This is not. This is just perfect. It's simple and effective and pretty idiot proof. Repurchased. Will probably repurchase again. Continuing from Fenty, I have 2 of the Fenty Gloss Bombs, a product which I absolutely love. So this is the original Fenty Glow, and I will repurchase this, but not until the next Sephora sale rolls around in like April, probably. I wear this shade mostly in the summer and the fall. This one is Sweet Mouth. I will probably not repurchase this just because it didn't have much pigment. I wanted something that was light pink and cool tone, but I wanted it to show up more on my lips. So I will not repurchase this, will repurchase this one. It would be really nice if the Ruby Milk shade could make its way to Sephora Canada. Can y'all get on that? Fenty, Sephora, whoever it is, please, because I'd like to try that one. Also from Sephora, the Sephora Collection 12-Hour Eyeliner in Sangria. I know that they've reformulated these eyeliners, and I think they're in slightly different packaging. I've read reviews, and my favorite shade, Sangria, which is a very deep plum purple, still seems to perform admirably. I wear this basically every day that I'm wearing eye makeup because it's not as harsh as a true black, but it stands out more than a dark brown, and I really think it works well with my eye color. It is so creamy. I cannot stand when eyeliners tug at all at my skin. This does not do that. So it's very creamy, but it also stays the fuck in place. It can get a little bit smeary when you're applying it, but that's a fine sacrifice considering just how creamy it is, and the fact once it's there, it tends not to move throughout the day. That's very important because I get smudges under my eyes really easily. I have a lot of these little tail ends running around, and that's just a testament to how much I love it. repurchased. I went through an entire thing of the Burrito Secret Clearing BB Cream. This is the lightest shade and it has this wonderful gray neutral undertone that is perfect for neutral olives like me. If you are a light neutral olive, definitely check this out. Even though it's the lightest shade, the undertone matches so well. I use this BB cream whenever I'm just going out to run errands if I don't have time to do a full face of makeup. This works pretty well. The coverage is insanely high for a BB cream, which covers almost all of my hyperpigmentation, enough to make me feel presentable enough to be seen by other humans without going and scuttling under the nearest rock. They also just expanded their shade range, so hooray! Makeup is always more fun when you can share it, you know? I repurchased it. I really like it. It's nice and moisturizing, but it has pretty good wear time, even under a mask. It just fits all my needs for an everyday foundation slash BB cream. Love it. And finally, some very sad news. My two favorite things to mix into my foundation, and I'm a big fan of customizing my foundation shade. I mix like 5 different things to get this. The Kevin Aqua Celestial Skin Liquid Lighting and the Farsali Skin Tune Blur appear to have been discontinued. Now with Farsali, I can't tell if they've totally gone under as a business or if it's just extreme supply chain issues where everything on their website is out of stock. I am so sad because this is an incredible liquid highlight that I would mix into my foundation to give that dewy glow of youth. And then this one is really great at helping makeup adhere to my face, but also at blurring out pores. So I guess I'm testing liquid highlight and I'm testing pore filling primers now. Hooray! On to hair care. Now, my hair is a lot of trouble. I have a pretty good amount of it, but it is very fine and thin and delicate. Living in a dry place, it's frizzy. It's naturally curly if I let it, but I have horrible cowlicks, so if I try to just air dry my hair, it goes blah, 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 all over. It never looks the way I want it to. So I'm pretty much locked into heat styling, so that means I need styling products to protect my hair, but they can't be so heavy that they weigh it down because it loses all of its volume very easily. That's why I've just been keeping it cut short all through the pandemic. I sometimes think about growing it out, but God, what a hassle it is because it's so prone to breaking when it gets down to here. However, there has been some progress. If you've seen previous Empties videos, you know how much I love this stuff. This is the Aveeno Apple Cider Vinegar Shampoo. This is marvelous at just blasting gunk out of your hair. Despite the fact that my hair is dry at the tips, I have an incredibly oily scalp. It's disgusting. Combination hair to go with my combination skin. Huzzah! I use a lot of dry shampoo because I don't want to wash my hair so much that it dries out. I need something that can deal with the toxic sludge that is all the dry shampoo and hair oil, and this is amazing. Just absolutely blasts my scalp clean without being irritating. It's like 10 bucks. I love it. It lasts a while and it smells kind of like apple pie. Oh, so good. I don't mind fragrance in my hair care products as much. Very nice. We'll continue to repurchase forever and ever. As a conditioning step, I've been using this detangling spray that is from Revlon Professional. This is from Spain. It's the Equave Instant Detangling Conditioner, and boy, are they not lying. It is a leave-on spray-in conditioner and really just detangles my hair, which is so important because otherwise, even using a tangle teaser brush to try and go through my hair, it just tangles so easily. And this is one of the only products I have ever found that deals with that issue well. Before, I used to just have to bombard my hair with conditioner and hope for the best. And so it was weighing it down and not always detangling the way I wanted it to. This, on the other hand, really gets the job done. It's not conditioning enough on its own, at least not in this environment. So if I am blow drying my hair, I add this, the L'Adore Keratin Power Glue. This is a travel size because I'm still working on the big old tube of it that I already had. Leave-in conditioning treatment that's specifically meant for styling with hot tools. It's got snail mucus in it and I absolutely love it. It's excellent as a conditioner. It adds a little bit of shine and it does not weigh my hair down at all. The combination of these two has helped a lot in dealing with frizziness and just the natural rat's nest state of my hair. The fact that I have only 2 of these over a whole year just shows how well this product lasts. You really don't need much. One of these will last me about 6 months and it's 25 Canadian dollars to repurchase, so hell yeah, I will. Last in hair care, dry shampoo. So for the longest time, I've just been using the Batiste, which is pretty good. It gets the job done. I like it okay. Or I did until I found this! This is the Klairs Dry Shampoo for Oily Dark Hair. This has a brown tint to it. They have one that is untinted that is just for oily hair. I'm blown away. I really like this. I tried the original Klairs dry shampoo years ago and just utterly was not impressed. It did nothing. But apparently the oily version is exactly what I was looking for. Also, it does not smell as flowery or perfumey as most dry shampoos do, which is always very annoying to me, trying to find a scent that I actually like and won't clash with my perfume. This one is not very strong, but the fragrance is lovely. It's like a kind of minty botanical scent, which I've never encountered a dry shampoo that smells like this. I find it to be powerful enough to soak up oil, but it never gets too heavy, and it's really easy to blend into my hair. And obviously the tint is part of that, but I think even untinted it would probably blend in pretty well. So this is my new favorite. I've got like fucking 20 of these things in the trash heap that I'm sitting on. Absolutely love, do recommend. And finally, supplements! I never thought I would be a supplement weirdo, especially as a biologist, and yet here I am. First of all, my hormonal birth control, a solid year's worth of these running around. I take Loestrin, the generic version of it. Obviously, I cannot give you genuine medical advice. I am not an MD. I can tell you that I've been using this form of birth control for a decade, and I absolutely love it. It is a low-dose hormone pill that I found really helps control my acne because I am quite acne prone, and it is tied directly to my menstrual cycle. Also, this made my period go away, so if that would be a benefit for you, definitely talk to your doctor, but you gotta be careful with anything that is a prescription drug, right? Birth control can have all kinds of negative side effects. This has basically none for me, but it's a serious issue for so many women. If you are a woman and you have acne, hormones are probably at the root of it, and one of the best ways of fighting it can be hormonal birth control if it works for you. And don't feel bad if it doesn't, because there's so much of the science that we just do not understand why it works for some people and why it doesn't work for others. But yeah, Loestrin, I love birth control. Next up, saw palmetto. Saw palmetto is a supplement that has been studied a lot for its effects in men, specifically to help with an overgrown prostate, which can make you have to get up and pee a million times in the middle of the night. There is actual science showing that saw palmetto supplements will help with that. How? Saw palmetto contains an anti-androgen. It shows some effect of reducing the amount of dihydrotestosterone in your body, and dihydrotestosterone is a motherfucker. It is a very potent form of testosterone that, amongst other things, causes acne and male pattern baldness. I have both acne and a bit of female pattern baldness. I started taking saw palmetto. The brand originally that I was taking is Sundown Supplements. I thought these were pretty great, but I had to take 3 a day to get the recommended dose. These were really good. I briefly tried a cheaper brand and I noticed all of the gains that I'd made, like regrowing some of my hairline and helping banish acne and facial hair. All that came back with a vengeance, and the hair that I'd had grown had fallen out. This brand, the Sundown Naturals, this is really good, but one time Amazon was out of this, so I had to try something new, and I found this. Oh man. This is the Vita Age Saw Palmetto Prostate Support. Yes, my poor prostate, it needs a lot of support. It's like it's not even there. Because this is the actual saw palmetto extract as opposed to simply the ground up berries of the stuff put in a capsule. They claim that this is equivalent to taking 3,200 milligrams of just plain saw palmetto because there's so much of the pure extract in here. This is amazing. In addition to dialing down my beginnings of a mustache and acne, this like completely reconstituted this part of my hairline. Like this did not exist until this came into my life. That's part of why I grew bangs in the first place, is so that I could cover up the fact that this part of my hairline was starting to recede, and pretty badly too. Yes, it's a sample size of 1. I'm experimenting on myself, but I have observed real benefits of taking this stuff. Obviously, if you are a man, I do not recommend because it will make your dick stop working. But if you are a woman, be cis or trans, this stuff will help put the kibosh on testosterone-related problems. And finally, as far as supplements go, this is the Organica Myo-inositol. There's a lot of really good science supporting myo-inositol as a treatment for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is a condition that affects women, and it's all tied to insulin resistance. And as part of that, it throws your hormones out of whack so that your body is producing more androgens and less estrogen. You take it and it controls insulin resistance. and thus your body begins to produce more estrogen and fewer androgens. Great! As it turns out though, it's great for your skin for the same reasons. So if you do have hormonal acne, this might help. Now, messing with your hormones is a big deal. Obviously, talk to your doctor if you can before starting something like this. Also, you're not supposed to take it if you're taking any SSRIs. Thankfully, I am not. If you have certain mineral deficiencies and certain mental health conditions, you should not take this. It is serious stuff. I have absolutely noticed an effect in my skin as well as my waistline. It helps control my sugar cravings. I had always assumed that was just something I'm going to be stuck with for the rest of my life. No, this really helps tame that. You know, I don't think I've lost any weight, but it does appear to have been redistributed. I really like this. I just take a tablespoon every day and mix it in with water. It has a naturally sweet taste. That's how I take it. I've been trying to banish androgens from my body as I am a middle-aged woman. I don't want hair loss, facial hair, acne, a thickening waist, all that stuff. I don't want it. I don't want that in my life. To the extent that I can control it, I will control it. And this has proven helpful thus far. I've finished one tub of it and definitely repurchased and currently digging my way through a second tub. Again, it's always better to talk to your doctor about this kind of thing, but I've had great results thus far. And that is it! A whole friggin' year of Empties, y'all. I hope it's given you plenty of insight into my skincare, hair care, makeup, all of it. And of course, if you have any suggestions or recommendations to replace products that have been discontinued, please hit me up in the comments. I would love to hear it. Here's to 2022 having more actual Empties videos in it. Unless, of course, you prefer the year-long approach. I could make that work too. So whatever you want, let me know. Until next time, bye y'all! Science behind it that supports it as a treatment for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Fuck, all the lights just went out in the house.